So it's Sean Black again, JBSC. I can't wait to get done with this. It's almost over with these with this global crap. But I think you see that I've proved that, first of all, they're liars. And you know, I'm not showing the chart. I didn't draw the charts for them, but I looked them up for floods, droughts, anything you can think of, not just tornadoes and forest fires. They lie about everything that they say. None of it is... Everything that's happening is opposite of what they're saying. There is no droughts. As a matter of fact, there's more water in the air. And if you think about it, that makes sense, because if you heat up the atmosphere, right, if we're getting warming, then you're going to get warm. You're going to have more water in the air. That's common sense. You heat up water, it turns into steam. It evaporates. So you're going to have a lot more water in the air. So droughts wouldn't make much sense. That's almost like saying you're going to have extreme cold because of global warming. That don't make sense either. None of these things make sense, okay? And then the CO2 thing, like we're at the lowest level. Like not just human history, but in the history of the fucking planet. We're at the lowest level ever. If we get any lower, our planet is going to die. I got to live with you people, with humans, that think like this. That think that you know, they see this graph here. I don't know if you can see it in there or whatever. But you can see that their CO2 is going down and down for the last 165 million years. And it's almost at the point where plants are going to die. And instead of saying, well, we better start making CO2 because the Earth isn't doing it like it usually does, so maybe we should start making a whole bunch of it. Everyone says, no, don't make no more. Just let the plants suffocate and die, even though they need three or four times as much CO2 as there is right now in the atmosphere. They need 3 or 4 more times as much. More like, nah, wouldn't want to do that. That wouldn't make any sense, right? I want your plants to have enough air to breathe, you know. Why would you want that? All right. I got one more graph here. Hopefully I can show it to you. But I want you to show, when I show you this graph, I want you to see something. This is the last 4,000 years, okay, or temperature, all right? And I did mess up on one part of it. I'll tell you about that in a second. Keep in mind, this isn't an exact, graph or whatever. I hand did this, so you know what I'm saying. All right. Now you see this part right here? This actually is higher. This dipped down a lot, because this dip, okay, right here, is higher than this dip over here, because this is the ice age, the little ice age, and that's the coldest it's been for the last 750 million years. So, but you can see this is 4,000 years of the last whatever, right? And you'll see these low points, right? All these low points here, they're all ice ages. I mean, they're all dark ages. European dark age, the Great Bronze collapse, dark age, the European dark age, the Egyptian dark age. They're all dark ages. All of them. All of them. And I want you to realize that these are all ice ages. All these ice ages that I'm pointing to, they're all ice ages. And look at all these ice ages are actually above, because the temperature goes up this way, right? The higher you are on this graph, the hotter you are. Now, this is an ice age where there's quiet collapse and there's dark ages and people are crazy, and it's way above, because look, the little ice age where we're at is way past, way below this, way below dark ages. And then on the toppies, tippy toppies, right? And you can see these are way higher than the ice where we're at. We're way down here. We're way down here. Okay? We are way down here. This is the Ice Age right here. This is the Ice Age. And this is the little Ice Age because it's the part of the Ice Age that's the coldest out of all these Ice Ages. But I want you to look all the tippy tops. There's always something happening. Here's the Roman Empire. Here's the medieval warm period, the Vikings. Here's the Minoan warm period, the Bronze Age. And you can see what happens. It gets cold, you get Dark Ages. It gets warm, you get giant civilizations. It gets cold, you get Dark Ages. It gets warm, you get a society, a giant society like the Romans. It gets cold, you get Dark Ages. And all these Dark Ages are actually warmer than where we're at right here, right now. So what? Does anyone see my victimology? Do you see what I have to endure living on this planet? Okay? It's not stupidity like, you can't do something or you don't understand Einstein's equations or this or that. I'm talking about, because I don't mind that. That's normal. People can exceed in, knowledge to a level and then that's it. Everyone has a limit. Me, even Einstein. Everybody's got a limit. And that's fine. That's how humans are. But I'm talking about common sense. I'm talking about you have a chart here that shows you that every time that the society starts getting their shit together and forming these giant civilizations, and they have a lot of inventions and this and that type of thing, it's always been warmer than it is now. As a matter of fact, a lot warmer. Okay? And then all the Dark Ages, all the collapsings and all, it's all in these way down low levels, and those levels are even higher in temperature than we are right now. Okay? We are coming out of the coldest part of this Ice Age that has been lasted for the last 2 million years, basically. And we're just coming out of the Ice Age. We're just coming out of it just a little bit. This is actually the coldest in the last 10,000 years. Right now, other than that little Ice Age thingy, in the last 10,000 years, right now, this time and point in time that I'm sitting here right now is the coldest in the last 10,000 years. It's the coldest in the last 10,000 years. Are you hearing me? And what's funny is they'll show, even the people that think the climate change crisis is a big thing, they'll show you these. They'll show you these. They'll show you. And you can see that we are down. They show you, and you can see that we are way down at the bottom on the chart. And all these, for the last 4,000 years, all these civilizations, everything, even the Dark Ages, are warmer than they are for right now, today. Like, how does that... How? Then I have to walk through these humans and you can't tell them, because humans, they won't learn. They would rather be wrong and stupid than learn something. You know what I mean? Like me, because I'm not human. I'm a pastafarian, so I don't consider myself human at all. Okay, so I don't. If I'm wrong, I want to know I'm wrong so that I can be right from then on forward. But that's a very no human cares about being right. They don't care about the truth. Woke person don't care about the truth. The Christian don't care about the truth. The Democrat don't care about the truth. The Republican doesn't care about the truth. None of them care. Because if they cared, they would look into... This did not take me so far. Yeah, it took me a long time to do these videos or whatever. It didn't take that long to figure this stuff out, to pull this information out of the out of the computer. And I'm an idiot when it comes to computers. Pulling information out of a computer is harder for me than normal people. I can tell you that right now. Okay? It took me 2 hours. Actually, it took me 3 hours just to get this camera to work today, because I haven't used it in a long time. So, you're an idiot if you can't. If you have a camera for like 10 years and then you get it out and you can't use it, it takes 3 hours to figure it out, you're an idiot, okay? So it took me 3 hours. And the witch hunts were actually during the little ice age. But anyways, I just don't understand. I mean, you're coming out of an ice age that you've been in for 10,000 years, and you still, the last 10 million, I mean, the last 2 million years, really, you've been in an ice age, right? And most of that time that you were in the ice age, you were actually warmer than you are today, and you're worried. I'm worried because the last 2 million years, we've been in an ice age, and it's been cold. It's been hotter than it is right now. But during this ice age, for this 2 million year long ice age, it's been warmer than it has been today, during today's 2020 temperatures, or 2023 or whatever. How does this... It reminds me of the 9/11 thing, you know what I mean? I understand there's 3,000 people died. That's a lot of people, blah, 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 blah. I get that, okay? But let's face it. There was people that lived in caves clear across the ocean, clear across the world. And they had box cutter knives. They didn't have an army. No. They didn't have a Marines. They didn't have a Navy. They didn't have guns. They didn't have tanks. They didn't have any helicopters, no A-bombs, no fighter jets, no helicopters. What they had was box cutter knives. Box cutter knives. There's like 8 people with box cutter knives that lived in a cave all the way around the world. And we came up with the Patriot Act, taking away all rights from citizens. Now the government, after the Patriot Act, they can just come into your house, kidnap you in the middle of the night, take you to prison, and never tell anyone ever again about you, and it's legal. Why? Because a couple people had box cutter knives. And I have to live with people who live in a country that has a military, who has A-bombs, and they're afraid of people because they have box cutter knives, and they live in caves. And I have to live with these people for the last half century or more than a half century. And I had to endure this just craziness. And what's funny about the 9/11 thing is it was out of 250 years, one thing happened basically from the Muslims. We had a fucking just cower and like cowards in the corner. Oh my God, I got box cutter knives, and I only have 4 types of military, all kinds of A-bombs and tanks and jets and boats and this and that. But they got box cutter knives. I would be ashamed. I would be ashamed. And you had a whole country made of box cutter knives. You got box cutter knives, you're tough. Yeah, you're a real toughie. Alright. This video is done. This old man's done.